Vag, vag, vag. What you gonna do when it's hot outside? Ooh, I know what. Listen to Vag. What you gonna do when the trains are down? Ooh, I know what. Listen to Vag.
Joe.
Hi.
So where did you come from? We just ran into Joe on the street.
Yeah, I was walking up the street.
If people don't know, that's Sarah's husband.
That's my husband.
And
there's nothing funnier than seeing your loved one not knowing that you see them and they don't know that you're seeing them.
Well, I had a feeling I might walk by you guys, and then I can't tell what car's what, and then it's cold and everything's reflective, but I saw a person in the driver's seat.
Uh-huh.
So then I thought, if someone's in the driver's seat, most people aren't in the driver's seat when they're parked. And then I thought, there's someone in the passenger seat also.
Ooh.
So I couldn't see who was who, but I did think there's a car parked with two people sitting in it.
So
it could be my wife
yes.
and her podcast partner.
Because one
Adriana
time
Palucci.
I saw you sitting at a park bench, zoning out.
I saw you.
Yeah.
And that was really fun to
Well, I was meditating. I got caught meditating, which is somehow very embarrassing.
What, to get caught meditating?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd
Joe
rather get
meditated next to me the other day.
And you didn't know?
I said something, and then you got embarrassed about it.
I'd rather get caught masturbating than meditating.
Really?
Well, because it feels pretentious. Ari and I were talking about this on my upcoming new podcast.
Oh, yeah, guys, check out Joe's new podcast.
Can I pull my arm?
Well, it doesn't come
Sorry.
out for a while.
Pull it.
Yeah.
If you just ripped a huge fart, it's going to pull my finger. It's a wet
so
fart.
hot. I have the
Pull
heat
your
on.
finger, not your arm.
It's just like...
I have the heat on for you, so it's like so hot in here.
No,
right
you can
now.
cool it down.
Yeah, man, I want you to be comfortable.
Yeah, no, take it down.
Yeah, you
Tom
can-
Dustin told me a thing one time that makes sense is that with car heat, you should just always put it on pretty low because it'll make the car acceptable. When you blast it, within a few minutes, you'll be like, oh, this sucks.
That's true.
Good
He's
point.
a car guy.
He's a car guy.
But I have a problem with anything spiritual seems pretentious. So I realized today on doing my podcast with Ari that I had to be like, this dumb, I always say like, this dumb Buddhist book.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
like, I'm gonna go kind of meditate. Like I have to qualify it as like, I'm retarded.
It's
But
dumb.
It's not even like you're meditating like this.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there with my eyes
Well, you're
closed.
supposed to meditate, I think, in nature.
Yeah, that's better. But Sarah's natural. Hotel rooms are natural.
No, I'm
Yeah.
saying, so like when she saw you in the park, that was probably like kind of natural, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I was also getting ready to go see my ex-girlfriend too.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so
Ooh,
that
what
was
was
weird.
that for?
Who was it for?
At the time, Joe was into keeping friends with his exes.
Yeah,
Well,
I've
that's
tried.
such a bad idea.
Yeah, well, in my mind, I grew
At
up
the
on
time.
Seinfeld, so Seinfeld to me was always been my dream. Is like I'll be a cool guy. I'll have a New York apartment. My ex-girlfriend will be just like a friend that's hilarious. that
Oh,
comes
I
by.
totally get that. But then when you get older and then you're racking up a ton of exes.
Right, you're like, now you have 10 exes you're friends with.
Well, Sarah and I have different problems. She has 11 exes. I have 2.
Two of them came to the wedding.
Yeah.
2 of your exes?
Well, people I've dated.
Oh. Well, that's nice that you're still friends with them.
True. But I don't have communication with them.
So why would they come to your wedding then?
Well, I check in
kind
with
of
them every
friends.
now and then. But
You're
meaning,
like-
like, I'm not like texting them all the time of like, oh, you won't get a load of this.
Yeah.
Get a load of me and this bikini.
I'm also closer friends with both of them now,
Yeah.
I feel like.
Joe's really good friends with, both of them.
I think it's important to keep people that have had sex with your wife in your life real close to you.
To make sure they're not having sex.
Yeah,
still.
just keep an eye on
It's
them.
awful.
Yeah.
Well, there are times when you're like, because when you get older and you've just dated a lot of people in the scene, there are times you're in the room and you're like, oh, how weird.
That you
There's
dated
3
someone?
guys here that I've had sex with.
Yeah. That was one of those moments where it's just quiet, but everyone feels weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that never happens. Reverse. You're never around people that I've had sex with.
No, I think I've been in the same room with your ex, one of your exes.
But not since we were together.
No,
Ooh, I know one
not
of
since we were together. But I remember knew her when you guys were dating.
Yeah,
and
we
I
hung
remember
out.
when you broke up with her. So I saw that you were devastated with her.
Yeah, I was very upset.
Joe was really upset.
Yeah, I was very upset.
Did you console him through it with a nice beach?
No.
No, no consoling
You
at
were
all.
like, I'm so upset.
No, because I wasn't that close of friends with Joe, but he did live 1 block away from me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I really wanted to nail her.
Me?
Yeah.
I knew that Joe liked you early on. How did you not know? You did know.
I suspected a little bit, but
I just heard him talk about how funny you were, and I also think you're
Thank
really
you.
funny, but I just knew that you liked her
Well,
early
that's-
on.
that's
And
sweet.
then eventually, and it wasn't long before you were like, "Why aren't we dating?"
Yeah, that was my big move.
How
I would
did-
hang out
I
with a
mean,
girl
that
and be
worked
like, we
pretty
should
good.
date.
Well,
Yeah,
I
did it twice.
was hesitant because Joe had just shot in a girl's shoe a few months prior.
And I
I
had
mean-
herpes.
Strike,
That
strike,
didn't
while,
even.
strike while it's hot.
Yeah,
I like how
part
that
didn't
didn't
bother
even come
me.
up on her radar. She was like, I could deal with herpes. I just don't want you shitting in my shoes.
Yeah, well, I had some problems, you know.
Well, that was the alcohol.
Yeah.
That part I was like hesitant to get involved with a guy that I thought may or may not have. But here's the thing. You know how they're like, you should never get involved with a lot of these people? I did. Joe had a lot of red flags and I ignored all of them and it worked out perfectly.
Right. That's probably not.
The exception to the rule.
Yeah, I don't think that. It's like that story when they're like, well, how about all these other people that did it? And they're like, he burned my house down.
Also, but it feels like I had a red flag of alcoholism.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
That's
But you
true.
you were so nice and I liked you.
Thank you. Yeah, I was
Funny.
nice. Yeah.
Yes.
Joe was always a nice guy.
Funny guy,
Funny,
very nice. I like
yeah.
being
Funny.
nice.
And that you were also into me.
Yeah, I like you. I
Yeah.
still like you very much. I
Thank
like you
you.
more now than I did then.
Me too.
What?
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think you're hotter,
Amazing.
too.
Yeah, I'm getting hotter.
Yeah, you're getting hotter.
You guys gonna fuck in the car?
I would love to. I love to
just,
fuck in the car.
I'll just let Sarah go in the back seat and I'll sit up there.
That'll be the podcast.
Oh my god, I would be so talking about being embarrassed to have watching you meditate. I would be embarrassed if anyone saw how we fucked.
I mean, I think anyone is embarrassed of how anyone fucks.
I know the way
Yeah.
you said that though, it makes it seem like we're fucking like nerds.
No,
Like we
no,
fuck.
not like that. It's embarrassing regardless.
But people like couples, I guess they don't really fuck like people do on porn. Like in porn they're always just switching positions every 5 seconds.
switching positions, they look perfect.
Yeah.
Like if you knew
their
you were gonna-
assholes are bleached.
Yeah, if you were gonna tape yourself having sex, wouldn't you have to do so much prep work?
Yeah, so I'd have
Make
to
sure you
tax right off
shave.
everything.
Tax right off everything, clean your whole room.
Yeah.
That would take me a good day.
Yeah, no one fucks in a dirty room. I guess on
Yeah.
YouPorn.
I mean,
There's
I
probably
have
a-
so many shirts everywhere. I'd have to like put away.
There's probably a category though, fucking in a mess. I bet.
Mess fucking.
Yeah, messy fuck.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, something like that. There's like I think there's like, fucking a preschool, fuck on a plane. I think it's all out there now.
Well, it's always funny when you see somebody like videotaping their podcast, which we do now. And then like the Shane Gillis one that he got busted, part of me was more depressed of where they were doing it.
Where was he doing
It
it?
was just an apartment, but it looked like shit.
Oh yeah. It's like, how do you take a guy down like that? That's like taping in a sad place.
Shane had a great line. He's like, his whatever it is, cancellation is like unprecedented. He's the only guy that's gotten canceled before having a career.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
I think honestly no one remembers anymore. It's like only in this circle of like nobody fucking knows. If you went to somebody on the street randomly, they'd have no idea what any of that was.
I agree with that, but it will get re-brought up. It'll get remembered if he got something. If they went, he's on whatever.
He should get hired back on SNL and see if anyone brings it up.
Well, he went to the taping. Like Lauren likes him, and he went to the taping, and he was there. He hung out there.
I bet you could just secretly have him back on the, not do a press release.
The problem is you couldn't have him as a writer because there'd be somebody in that writer's room who would leak it to someone.
Yes, a bunch of people would be upset,
Yeah.
I'm sure. By the way, a guy just walked by with a
I saw
backpack that has a
that.
television set
That's
attached to it.
weird.
insane.
Yeah, he's got a TV backpack.
Best. I don't even know
It
what
has
it
like
says.
a scrolling ticker tape and things. It's kind of fun because that way, if you walk behind him, you can watch an episode of Full House or whatever.
Oh my god! Or if it's an advertisement and he gets paid for it,
Ooh, that's smart.
they
Yeah,
should
I'd
do
do
that
that.
with homeless people.
Oh, that's good.
Why don't you
Like
pitch
in
that
the
to
back of the
someone?
cab, you're just like, can I just put this TV on the back of you?
Yeah.
Or
just-
like Chipotle just advertises on a homeless person's like blanket.
Yeah, remember when there was they were trying to turn homeless people into Wi-Fi hubs, and then people got incensed, and then you're like, but they're getting paid.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And
That's
they're
really
in
smart.
Pockets of town that you might like. You might need Wi-Fi here in Washington Mutual, and if they paid a guy, gave him some money to be a Wi-Fi hub,
What does he have to do?
just lie there.
Sorry, did you,
He's
just,
already laying there.
did you just call Washington Square Park Washington Mutual?
Maybe.
You did, but you know what? I didn't even correct it.
It's
I
really
heard it
funny.
and was like, maybe there's Washington
Maybe
Mutual in there
they
now.
bought space.
I think
They're not
that's-
even a bank anymore.
That's an even funnier way to make
WAMU?
money.
Yeah, the Washington Mutual Square Park.
We're at Central Chase Park.
JP Morgan.
That's funny.
Yeah, they should, because there's enough homeless people here that you could have a lot of Wi-Fi hubs and give them money.
The problem is once these homeless people are like shitting on someone, they're going to be like, that's bad for Washington Mutual now.
Right. That's what
That's
I
the
realized
problem.
too,
Once they're
yeah.
doing something shitty, like shitting as a homeless person
But-
on the street,
you can shit as a person, so I
just
don't
not
have a
on
problem.
the street.
No, but I do think if you saw like Chipotle's not like we don't want our spokesman to be a guy face down in a fucking sewer
Just pooping.
with like
Also,
yeah, he's got like shitty
all-
pants.
I'm sure all of these homeless dudes have Me Too stories. So, like, once that gets bought out, that's going to be done
Can you
deal.
imagine being like, my Wi-Fi hub Me Too'd me, so he should not.
He should not be homeless. He should have a house.
Yeah.
Let's put him let's give him terrific circumstances now.
I know, that's why it's so hard to like stay on top of all that. Joe, when's your podcast coming out? Because you've taped a lot of. This is Joe's new podcast.
Ooh, what's it called?
It's called
Get this.
Sarah hates it.
I love
I can
it.
tell.
Get this? I think
No.
it's a good name.
No.
Oh, no, wait. Get this is not the name.
I was
of the
That's
like,
not
get
the name of
ready.
It's
Oh.
called Mindful Metal Jacket,
Okay.
like Full Metal Jacket,
Yeah.
but
But
Mindful Metal Jacket,
And it's this kind of the same logo.
and it's about
That's cool. I like it.
mindfulness and anxiety and depression and therapy and
That's
Buddhism
big.
and drugs and yeah, I've recorded a bunch of. It probably won't come out for a while though. Like New Year, New Me. I'm thinking, and we're gonna put it in
Ooh.
like the health department, so it's not up against comedy because it's not very funny.
Well, it doesn't have to be funny.
There's some jokes, so we're gonna put it.
we could
health.
do this in lifestyle
That's true.
and health.
Yeah,
Let's just turn this into an informative podcast.
yeah.
It takes the pressure off.
It
Right.
does, and then the some jokes come like.
Yeah.
It makes it easier for people to be like, that wasn't funny at all, and you're like, yeah, it's not supposed to be funny, you jerk off.
What's cool is that
We
sometimes
should do that.
Sometimes I'll listen to podcasts, and as long as they're interesting, people are into it. It doesn't
Yes.
necessarily. Like I've done podcasts with Ari where it's not like we're not like hysterical the whole time, but it's interesting. So I think it holds people's attention, even though there are funny
Oh,
parts
yeah.
to it.
I've always thought that with like, yeah, any interview, I don't, and then sometimes I get annoyed when they get sidetracked that I just want to hear the story and it doesn't even have to be funny. You just want to know the end of something.
Yeah, I think as long as it's interesting, like I think it has to definitely be interesting. But if it doesn't have to be like hilarious,
Yeah.
no, that's so unrealistic too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Life
realize
is
that.
not happening like that.
Yeah, I realize that when we do a live podcast, Mark and I, and I'll
Yeah.
be like, Jesus, we're bombing.
It's so much
And then people will be like,
pressure.
"I love that episode," and you're like,
Yeah.
"How?"
Yeah, and they're just interested. But it makes it easier to do the podcast in a studio because you're just like, I just assume we're killing.
Yeah.
And then you do it live and you're like, yikes. I thought you guys laughed out loud every time I said, come on my back, but they don't. They just kind of look.
They're
You're
like,
like,
oh
"That's
my
not
God."
what
Maybe they're laughing on the inside.
They might be, yeah. They might be coming on the inside.
But you're the last few live ones that you've done. I think you said they've done really well.
Yeah, they're pretty great.
See, I want Adrian and I to do a live one, but I can't. The idea of that pressure of us being on stage talking and then having people are laughing at it. I'm like, at least we have prepared jokes when we do stand up.
Yeah, I think if we had topics, we'd be fine.
But yeah,
Or
it is.
questions from fans. I think it's, just kind of, because even this is like off the cuff. None of us have this planned.
No.
Yeah, no, it's scary. There's a moment before every live podcast that I'm like, this is stupid. I'm like, this is insane.
But like, you have a lot of your fans show up to it, right?
Yeah, they come and it's good. But sometimes that is tricky. I feel like podcast fans are hard to perform for because they're so inside and they're comedy nerds. They watch so much they need it to be like so crazy or so off the
Over
or
the
so
top.
inside. You need to call like, "Hey, Jeff Ross is a faggot," or like something. They're like, "Oh, I know that guy." Like
Yeah.
if you're just like,
something that's insider info.
yeah, something weird or like some. I don't know. Sometimes it's tricky, and they know
I'll
all
keep
of
that
your
in mind
tricks.
to
And
say Jeff Ross is a fag if we ever do this.
When in doubt.
When in doubt, just call Jeff Ross.
Then
a
you're
fag.
just then you bump a mic and then you're like roast mode. I can say
You're
fag.
like two dicks,
yeah.
two dicks touching.
But it's definitely scary. So this is a new podcast where it's more serious. We talk.
Ooh.
Adrian, I'd love to have you as a guest.
Yeah.
We
Ooh,
could
I'll
talk.
do it.
We could talk therapy. We could talk Alan.
We could talk. What's interesting is all of us go to Alan.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love Alan.
We love
I wanna
Alan.
speak
Where
for
do
the
you?
group, but-
Where do you? I love Alan too. Where do you sit when you go in? 'Cause
Yeah.
me and Sarah have talked about it.
I sit in the chair. I was there today. Did you go today, Adrian?
What? No, but you
Oh.
sit in the chair.
I've always gone chair.
First of all, I didn't even know that chair you could sit in.
I felt that way with the couch. The couch seems bizarre to me.
I went in with Joe. We went in together.
Well, I sat in the-
because we're having problems, but he was like, I want you to go. And I
Right.
wanted to go, but I didn't want to go by myself for the first session because it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 78-year-old Jewish man that you
Is he
don't know.
78?
No, I
Me
don't
and
think
Sarah
so.
both think he's attractive.
Really?
Here's why. It's because
Not
he's nice
attractive
and he
like you want to
listens.
fuck him, but he's just like a good listener.
He validates your childhood
He
trauma.
listens to everything you say.
Well, I do that.
You too. And I like fucking you.
Am I
Yeah, she
attracted?
doesn't want to fuck him.
Well, he's got silly hair,
Yeah, I mean, we're not saying he's good looking.
but attractive and good looking
He's
are
a,
the
but
same
he's
thing.
not really. He's attractive as a person, though. Like
Oh,
you
I
don't look
see.
at him
Of
and think
course,
he's like
yeah. Of
good
course.
looking.
Yeah, but then you're like, you would. If I was around his age and he was single, I would probably try to date him.
Well, yeah.
if I was
he's-
this age and single, I'd try and date him if he was single.
He's a great person, and he's very wise. Wouldn't
He
you say?
is. It's interesting to hear him talk about how he was before he actually he was not very open as a person
Hmm.
when he was like younger. Like from what he's told me anyway, where he just said like when he first met his wife, like she would just be like, tell me how you feel about stuff, and like I don't think he was always like that.
Interesting.
Because he has an interesting childhood where he kind of left at 16 because his
Do you
family
ask
was
him
really religious.
questions?
I don't know. I guess I do.
Adrian's like, I've been dating him for 2 years.
You have no idea.
I swiped right on him on Bumble.
He's like, I'm having an affair with Alan for quite a while. Just wanted to feel you guys out if you approved.
Do you guys approve?
We approve.
I don't picture Alan being a fucking banging though.
Like, what do you mean, like in the sack?
Yeah, I think he's. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
Joe,
picture a big
I don't
hard
think
Jew
so
dick.
either.
Yeah.
That's not what I was getting at. He's just like an attractive as a person. Like I like the fact that he writes nothing down and remembers everything you say.
Oh,
It's
impressive.
unbelievable. But you know Robert Dean's bit and story.
But I didn't say the name, but this is so funny.
he called him the wrong name, right?
Yeah.
He called
said
him-
you got to worry about one person and one person only. Richard Dean.
And he's like, "Is that my dad?"
He's like, what? He's like, I think I need to see other people. But
Common mistake. Shit happens.
no, he's like,
Yeah,
no,
but
he's unbelievable.
Adrian and I sit in the same spot
Yeah, closest to the door.
on the couch.
And I didn't know that says something about like how open you are.
I know where the
Oh, I
guy
didn't know that
before
either.
me, every now and I know certain people. I won't say their name because I don't want to out people that go to therapy that haven't discussed it.
Yeah.
Where they sit, certain comics, like, because I'll see the chair
Even when
and I'm like, oh, he didn't change it back.
ooh, interesting.
What do you
Even
mean
when
change it back?
Meaning, like, I know the client before me sat in the chair because it's in a place that's like, why would he have the chair there?
Oh, but isn't the chair always in the same place?
No,
Oh, really?
it wasn't there today because sometimes he does Skype and then it's by his desk.
Oh, interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I caught him eating today.
You caught him eating today?
Well, I guess I was a little late, so I think he fit in a snack.
Were you upset about it?
No, but I sometimes think about bringing him food and think about what's the most inappropriate food for him to eat. And I thought nachos. While I'm crying, he's eating nachos.
Or edible
Well, I
undies?
Yeah.
bought him. I bought him something for his birthday one time, and like I don't think he ate it while I was there. I think he just leaves it. I brought him like a muffin. And it
Well,
was
you
like,
can't. I feel like it's so weird to eat while you have a client
you
there.
Well,
can't.
you can't do that. If I'm
No.
eating and we're talking, I'm 10% into the conversation.
Yeah.
I'm worrying
Yeah.
about what I'm eating.
And then you're like, go
This
on.
is so good.
Yeah. And you're like, Alan, are you listening to me? And you've got banana all over your face.
He's like, I'm listening, but I'm also eating.
I just
One time sorry, you go.
I just never notice him like fading out or anything. He's always there and in it.
Well, I went
Because we're so fascinating.
Yeah, particularly me.
Yeah.
I think you the most. But I remember I went there one day and I was like, oh, Sarah told me you're wearing something other than black. And he was like, okay.
Oh
I
wow.
was like, Sarah told me you had a nice outfit on the other day that wasn't all black.
I was a blue sweatshirt.
Yes,
I know.
think
And he was like, oh, okay.
That's funny. Yeah, Adrian,
Adrian,
every
you can
once
get
in
me
a
in
while.
trouble.
Every once in a while
You
you'll
can
see
tell.
him in
I don't
blue.
think that's breaking
No,
anything.
no.
I think I always said he wears black all the time.
Yeah, he's like George Carlin.
Yeah, I never noticed, but
He
I
looks
remember
like
the day
Carlin.
he wore blue, and I was like, "Oh, that's a nice color on him."
Did you say that?
No, I don't compliment him.
Have you ever had
Try
this?
it.
Have you ever had him?
That's
where,
what I'm working on.
Sometimes he
I want-
adjusts.
I want to be able to compliment my therapist. You could just bring that up in therapy.
I'm trying to, Alan. I'm really worried that I'm not complimenting you enough.
Sometimes he adjusts his shirt and I see his midriff, and that makes me
Ooh.
uncomfortable.
Does it?
I think he wants to
bet.
see if you're into him.
Yeah,
He's
I don't
throwing
know.
out little signs.
It's just old.
One time I said to him something about, what do people, like, do you ever see people who are, like, scared you're going to die? And he said that he's seen people who are, like, so nuts that they, like, worry he's going to die and what they're going to do when he dies.
I
And he's,
feel that way all the time.
I
Do
know-
you? I look at him. I'm like, he's got quite a bit in him.
I mean, look, if I found out he had a heart attack tomorrow, I'd be, like, not surprised.
Yeah.
He was chunky for a while. Now he's thin.
How'd you find that out?
Because I just saw him be chunky and now he's thin.
Oh, good for him.
You're jealous a little bit. Like, how did you know that?
No, I just thought maybe you saw fat Alan.
Like we used to fuck.
Adrian, why wouldn't you tell me that?
But anyway, I said to him, I go, what would you tell those people? And he's like, I would just tell them that, like, I will talk to them when I'm dead. I'm like, that's such a lie.
Well, it's so I worry about it all the time because he's like such a huge part of my life. I love him.
course.
I'm like, what if he retires?
How
He
long
won't
have you been
retire.
going with him?
Me?
Yeah, how long have you been seeing him?
2.5 years. I started March of 2017.
Oh, and what about
I've
you?
probably been seeing him on and off for like 7 years.
Wow.
6 years or something. But I've had like periods where I haven't gone for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love him. I think he's like
He's very helpful.
extremely.
Yes.
He's
I always,
with me in my head all day long.
yeah, I do think, and then I always am like, what am I going to tell him this week? If I feel like,
You're running out of stuff.
yeah,
You could just ask him, say, I'd like to know a little about you.
that's true.
How do you think I know everything?
Yeah.
He's told me that one time, because one time there was a comic coming out who I thought is a terrible comedian. And I go, how come you don't ever tell these people to quit? They've been in the business 15, 20 years. They're not going anywhere. And he goes, because it's not, this person's happy. It's not about like whether they're going to be successful or not. And I just was like, oh,
They
I guess-
don't talk about that with him?
I think he
said
does tell some people to quit.
Does he? Because I asked him why he specifically did not tell this one person to quit. And he was like, what's it? It's not for me to tell someone to quit.
Wow.
I was like, don't you think they're wasting their time? He's like, they're having fun.
I don't think he says to quit, but I think he says like maybe you should accept that you're as good as you're ever going to be. Stuff
Ooh,
like
that's
that.
got to be hard to hear.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or that you should accept that this is your level or whatever.
Ooh.
He also calls us all pussies.
Does
He hasn't used tough love with me yet.
You're a pussy. Okay.
I guess he's waiting for me to drop pussy first. Did you
Maybe.
drop it first, Joe?
Maybe. Probably. We swear in there. It makes me laugh. He says fuck. It's fun
I
to hear
say
him
fuck.
He curses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say fuck.
I've cursed. He curses.
Sarah's like, I say let's fuck.
Oh man, did I bring up a fight between you guys?
And then I say, Alan, I think my pussy's really wet for
and
you.
he's like, bingo.
Okay.
All
of course.
right.
My pussy's all wet. Of course.
We also wonder if he listens to podcasts or follows anybody on Twitter.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
I hope not.
He did tell me though when he first like accepts to see somebody that he does check their stand up out.
Oh, wow. I know he watched my Conan because he was very complimentary.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was really sweet.
That's very nice.
I don't talk too much comedy in there with him.
He said
No, I
some
don't
people
either.
will run bits in there.
Oof.
Yeah, he's said to me once, he's like, if you're ever writing something, you can ask me about it or just run it by me or whatever. And I was like, what?
Well, I think some people do that.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't think so. But
Yeah.
I know him and Soder watched Soder's hour special together.
I couldn't do that.
Wait, Soder and Dr. Allen watched it together?
But you only get 45 minutes.
Liz is texting me.
Oh no.
Are you in trouble?
Well, we're almost done, Joe.
My spot's not till late, but I'm hoping I get bumped up to early.
That'd be
Ooh.
great.
I would love that. She just writes list all caps. It makes me nervous.
What do you think happened?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh God, I wish she would write something. I want her to be like, "Can you go first?" Oh, she's
Ooh.
typing.
Ooh, what'd you say?
Makes me so nervous.
So
Typing.
those little dots.
I have so much anxiety.
We all
The
do.
seller just.
Well, she should just say it in the first text.
Right. I think maybe she does it so you'll text her back.
It's awful.
What if it's like, hey, you want to clean my bathroom? You want to be like, hey, I'm here. What's up?
I need you to clean my bathroom. What?
And also, can you get me an oil change?
Somebody had texted this and it went viral on Twitter. This is what they do to their friend. They're like, "Hey, are you in the right headspace to hear information that might hurt you right now?"
Ooh.
And people lost their shit being like, if my friend ever did that to me, like if you're going to a restaurant, because now all you're thinking about is what information are they going to tell me that's going to make me miserable?
That's kind of like when I told my friend right before the SATs that her boyfriend cheated on her.
Yeah.
It's along those lines.
Well, it is like when somebody is like, "Hey, can we talk?" And then
And then you don't talk to them for like a day or two, and you're
Yeah.
like, what's going on?
I'm like, I say that you have to say it's don't worry, it's not bad, or it's bad. Here's the
It's
subject
the
of it.
anticipation.
Yeah, it's
Also-
awful. Are you good?
Do you have to,
Yeah,
clean, do you have to clean
no.
your bathroom?
She just had. She's a check for me.
Ooh, that's
She's
fun.
like, "Where are you?" It is, but I was like,
You're still going late.
"Yeah, we already established that I'm coming by to get the check." So that was just kind of
Yeah.
ball busty, I guess. But I was hoping she was like, "Hey, can you go on right now?"
And
I
you'd be
was
like,
gonna
"Yes,
"Oh,
I'm
God,
here. And
Well, I don't think the show's even. Oh no, it has started.
yeah." Should have
Yeah.
started by now.
this was a fun Alan talk.
Ooh, we talk about Alan a lot.
Well, Joe and I went both to him today.
Together?
No, we did separate. So
But
meant-
equal.
we're separate but equal. Although I didn't have my full money, so I made Joe
Pay.
come back and pay the rest of it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Thank you. But then I Venmo'd Joe.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you guys could work that out.
He does a
Yeah.
sliding scale, and I've heard Joe told me that some people have a very low wage.
I've heard that some people
And
will
I think
pay
that's
him
awful.
in CDs or DVDs.
That's crazy. I
Yeah.
wonder what DVD is like National Treasure.
It's probably old stuff. I think I heard Joe Matarese used to pay him in like CDs.
That's crazy.
Probably they were his own CDs too.
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
I
Well, I
don't
know
know,
that
I'd say
he's.
no thank you.
I think he's brought up like people, like they'll start at a low price and then they become more successful, and he'll be like, "I think it's time you start paying more."
He should.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you can, you should.
Because it's weird, like you start talking about how much all the success you're having, and he's like, "All right, well, what the fuck?"
Well, yeah. Clearly, if you're making $60,000 a year, you could give me more than a DVD.
Well, there was
Right.
one girl I know that paid him really low, and I know she did coke on the weekends, and it would always make me laugh to think that. I wonder if she talks about doing blow, and then he's like,
Hey, you're only giving me $10.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, sorry, I just did so much coke though.
Well, I make sure every once in a while to just be like, "Oh my God, I'm so stressed. I gave my mother $3,000." And it's just, whew, just to kind of plant that seed of where he's not like, "Wait, so you did 4 gigs in one night?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I just
Yeah,
gave
but
my
I
mother
only came home with
$9,000
$100.
Yeah.
yeah, I lost it
And
all.
I Ubered and I spent 40 of it.
Yeah, I think it's important to let him know that where I'm spending my money, so he doesn't ask for more money.
Yeah.
I said to him, I was
It's
like,
an expensive habit.
I know, but I said to him, I was like, I think I'm going to have some good gigs next year. I'm going to give you more money. I'm going to give you a raise.
Oh, don't do that. Well, he did a clever thing early on where I was like, I'm just the money. Or he's like, how much do you want to pay? Or how much can you pay? And I was like, well, I can start off at this, but I get worried because down the road, I don't know. And he goes, well, if You make more money, you can pay me more money.
That's
Like,
smart.
I was trying to do a thing where I'm like, well, I might have to lower it. And he's like, great, so you'll just pay me more.
Yeah.
Like, he twisted it the opposite direction. Where
You're
I was
like,
oh, that
nice.
was well played, dude.
You have all the tricks. He knows all our weaknesses.
But I started at a good price, so I never have to go up.
Mine's the same as yours, and I feel good about it, although it is pricey, but it's enough that I can move things around, and I think I can do it.
Yeah.
Or then I just dip into Joe's pockets.
Yeah, we can do it.
I paid him different money when I was working and had like a regular job. I would give him a good amount of money, and then sometimes I went to therapy. When I wasn't working, and I could give him less. And I said to him, I was like, hopefully this helps me get an agent. I can give you some more money.
That's hilarious.
And he was like, we'll see about that. I wonder if he knows when you're about to break.
You're like, I hope I get an HBO special. He's like, me too.
He's like, we're all rooting for you. The whole
Beverly and
family,
I.
Beverly and I are rooting for you to get. So wait, was it awkward for him to watch, for Soder to watch a special with him?
I don't know. I think, but he like critiqued it while it was going, I guess. And then he went to his taping too.
That's sweet.
He went to my album recording.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get him to go to my album recording.
He'll definitely go.
Really?
Probably.
Do you
go to
invite
both-
him?
Yeah.
I'm not going to invite.
Why?
I just can't.
Yeah, don't.
Okay, ask him if you think you should invite him.
Well, now I have jokes about therapy.
He's not gonna care.
All right.
Unless you're like, I got an old Jew therapist. That's a fucking.
Unless you're like, but I think he's hot. I think he might be like, Sarah thinks I'm hot. Look at that.
Yeah. I never see,
Beverly?
next door.
I've seen her like once or twice. She has a much bigger office. I think
Yeah.
she does like group therapy.
I did a session in that office one time because it was like
With her?
construction. No, with him.
Oh.
We went into her office. But I think
Ooh.
she's been a little under the weather.
Oh, okay.
She's dying, so you
We're
guys
praying
might have
for
a
you.
spot.
Is she dying? I hope not.
No,
We're
I
praying.
hope not.
We're praying for Beverly.
I know a comic that went to see him, and his girlfriend, who was a comic, went to see her.
Oh, separate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I've
wonder
heard a
how their
couple.
styles are different.
I've heard that.
I think their
too.
styles are probably as different as those two comics on stage.
Interesting. I can't wait to turn off the mics and find out all the people in these stories.
Ooh.
I should probably head over there.
All right. Well, yeah, we hit
My turn.
our mark.
Great.
Thank you for doing this, Joe.
Yeah, it was
to
fun.
have
This is
you.
better than sitting at the cellar.
That's true.
Definitely.
The old cellar. It was great.
Thanks for joining our Patreon membership.
Yeah.
Me?
Thank you for. I don't even know where this is going.
Joe,
Joe, thanks
Joe,
for signing up.
did you sign for a
We
Patreon?
didn't. We want to let you know that since you're paying for Alan a lot of money, you could pay for the Patreon every month.
Sure.
Yeah. Maybe I'll ask Alan if he can join our Patreon.
Ask him. Be like, and don't be cheap. Join the top tier. Be like, we're gonna give you some good money next year.
Yeah, we promise.
He'd be like,
I've listened to it.
he'd be like, show me the money.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.